Is anybody going to talk or what?
Thank you for joining us for a new episode of Long Story Short on Nearing Nerdvana. This is episode 11, so pretty
You always
exciting.
double down on 11.
Right? You got to turn it up to 11, right? So make sure to check out our sponsors over at Cover Price. Use the code Nerdvana14 for a 99 cents 1 month membership of the unlimited access. So a great tool that everyone should check out and try at least
Check
once.
it out. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then make sure you're flipping back over to birdcitycomics.com and using the code Nerdvana for 10% off discount. I mean, they just dropped that awesome Garbage Trail cover and the Hellcrow, which I'm assuming is probably sold out by this point.
Yeah, you see what's coming, bro?
Yeah. Fourth print. Is that what we're talking about?
Bro, that looks fucking badass, dude.
I'm gonna buy all the copies at Baltimore and make sure that I'm gonna cut in line, use my influencer card, and make sure no one else gets copies, and then I'm gonna sit there on Whatnot the entire time.
Just make yourself a comic book millionaire, man. That's how you do
it.
And then I'm gonna make sure I send them to all CGC right there too, as well. So. All right.
Is somebody by an airport? Because I mean, I'm hearing all this. It sounds like planes and shit. Can you all hear that?
Not me, man.
Oh, okay. I think it was Rob. It was Rob. He lives by an airport.
Helicopters are flying by. All right. So how's it going, Long Short?
Hey, everything is good, man. Up for another show. We got some crazy stuff to talk about. The show is wildly unpredictable. We're gonna have a ton of fun talking about some cool books tonight. So thank you for tuning in.
Cool. And then Rob's in the house, so that means that might give you a hint of what we might see coming up in the show.
You never know. Never know.
And then we have Red Hood. How's it going, Joe?
It's going good. I'm sorry, I had it muted. I'm trying to be a professional over here. So. No, it's going good, man. I was going to tell you guys, I don't know if, because I'm here in Texas, if you have extra change coming back to you, do they tell you if you want to donate it to like the Kids of America, Sports Kids of America, if you're supposed to get 13 cents back, and do they
ask you to round up to the next dollar?
Yeah, do they do that to you with a whole bunch of people in line to see if you're a piece of shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, especially at Whole Foods when you're doing that, right? And people stare at you
yeah. So I'm like, what's my 13 cents going to do? You know what I mean?
But if everyone put in 13 cents,
let me just give you $10 right now, because I'm now you're making me feel guilty, like Jesus Christ, are we doing that now? Just you want to donate to this and that and give me a tip and goddamn, just take all my money, dude.
All your comic book money, man, down the drain.
Yeah. Dude.
For rounding up to that next dollar. All right. Before I recognize they call me Bruce's super chat, let's go ahead and introduce Josh, International Comics.
What's up,
everybody? Way to score a bunch of touchdowns, on Monday, right?
Yeah, I'm doing my thing. It's a full-time job playing football.
All right. Bruce. Thank you so much, man. Week after week, coming in big. So thank you so much. Our biggest fan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah. I've ran out of guitar riffs to come up with on the spot, so I don't even know what to play right now. So I should have known that he was gonna throw that in.
We're super chatting.
I'm just waiting to get in there.
Super chatting.
He's all over the place, man. Super chat. Chat.
All right, but we have a bunch of other people to say what's up to. Let's see who's joining us right now. We got Paul Holloway, who's saying this is his favorite show. We got Karen in the house. Thank you for joining us. Metalface, what's going on? We even get some Facebook people. Ronnie Saunders, how's it going? Mojo Quid, what's up? Stedford Wolf, how's it going? Good Kaiji. Joffrey Castro, what's going on? And we have Blind Adam in the house. Welcome in.
Yeah,
Blind,
thank
what
you,
up, man?
everyone. Thank you. All right, normal disclaimers apply. Don't run out and buy these books. A lot of these books on this list are books to keep an eye on for when you're hunting. It's more about just sort of keeping your eye open, maybe broaden your horizons when you're buying books, not just like, let's go have every book on this list, because this is not a money-making list. There's no promises for spec. That's not what's going on tonight. We're just going to talk about some interesting stuff, and that's how we do it. So let's just roll with it. All right. So this is an interesting book that Adi Granov, everybody loves Granov. This is Captain Marvel number 6. This is a 1 in 100 virgin, and then there's a 1 in 50 trade dress of the same book. What I find really interesting about this book is that that's a super, super high ratio for books that as far as I know, there were no retailer incentives, wasn't highly ordered, right? There were 31,000 copies roughly ordered on this book. So to have 1 in 100s and 1 in 50s are really, really high ratios for a book like this. This one doesn't get talked about a lot. It doesn't actually sell for that much. You can find them raw for under $100, well under ratio. But a book I came across this week, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw it on the show. I never see this one. And just putting it up for maybe to keep your eyes open for. No reason why it should go crazy in price ever. But like I said, at those kind of ratios on a relatively low ordered book, these things in theory should disappear someday and never be seen again.
I remember this one. This is the one where Black Widow's not even in the story.
Yeah.
I remember this one.
Was this the storyline where it's like introducing Star? Is that this run of
yes.
Captain Marvel? Okay.
Yeah. It was.
I think it is. Yeah.
So yeah, this is a weird one to have such a high ratio on, but yeah, Granov, he's fantastic, and one that's actually not that hard to track down, but super cool. And I would grab this if I saw it at a con or something for a reasonable price. Just wanted to throw it out there. No
Joe,
international versions of these yet, though, right?
What's that?
No. I
No.
did not even know this was a book until this moment.
Bro,
That's the whole point of the show, man. Let's just catch people off guard, man. Let's catch people off guard.
Adi Granov should just draw Amazing Spider-Man until he retires, dude. Like he's like in the top 5 of my favorite artists, and like, have you guys ever seen him do a bad book?
He's pretty consistent.
I just know he can't stop doing Star Wars books because he owes too many like Imperial credits, I believe.
Man, just a phenomenal artist, man. Just incredible. And this is a great cover too.
Yeah, I wanted to keep an eye open. For. All right, what do we got?
Yeah,
we got a lot of books tonight, so we'll keep it rolling. All right, we're gonna go right to the book we couldn't talk about last week because Rob had other things to be doing, but he's here tonight and he's gonna riff on this one for a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shout out Newbie Comics. I knew about this book. The stuff on eBay they had out was definitely a little too pricey. For those that know me, I'm definitely a Street Fighter homer. I try to get as many exclusive covers as I can, even the foreign ones. And this one is special because not only is it on exclusive, it has a boy too, just so you get a connecting Cammy on the back. So it's one of those books where it's like I knew what was happening because each book has it on the back, but I know I needed 2 just to complete that image of Cammy on the inside.
It's kind of a brilliant idea, like force you to get 2 of them, right? Cool.
Yeah, it forces me to get 2. That's exactly what it was. So I was like, it's a beautiful split Cammy on the back of a book, the classic Street Fighter 2 stance of Cammy. So all
Yeah,
cheeky.
What do these go for? Would you say if you right now? Oh, I think Rob might have froze up on us a little
The
bit.
ones on eBay saw
He's a scroll.
Yeah.
You're a bit choppy right now.
I said about $75 on eBay.
75.
I got it from new. I got both books from Newbie, Feast and Price. Yeah, 75. I just kind of paid Newbie a reasonable price too. So for one, it was a buy. It's for the collector in.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, Cammy books seem that there's a lot of them that seem to be coming out, and they seem to all move pretty well. So, all right, what else we got on this list, Aaron?
Yes, indeed.
All right, so here's an interesting kind of obscure, not even a book, it's a program, right? It's a Mark Brooks cover, Slave Leia, all the controversy, whatever you want to say, but popular artist, popular character. I mean, this book's a genuine ghost. It's really hard even to find a picture of this thing, to be honest with you. But this was given away at Dallas Comic-Con, and if I'm not mistaken, I couldn't find out exactly. I think this is actually the back cover of this particular program. There was another front cover as well, but a comic oddity that is probably going to be near impossible to find if it is a back cover, because it could be in some boxes somewhere and people thumb right by it, but something I imagine sells for a really big price if it ever shows its face, which that really doesn't.
So I tend to go to Dallas Fan Expo every year, and this is always a goal book to find at Fan Expo, because that's what Dallas Comic Con used to be, because it took place during the same time of year and at the same location. So I always wonder, like, if these vendors from Dallas Comic Con show up to Fan Expo and then have this somewhere, like, in their magazine bins or whatever, that I haven't stumbled upon one yet.
Yeah, I've never seen this thing in the flesh. I don't think I've ever seen it for sale anywhere, like online. But
yeah, well, probably because if it's a back cover, it's probably.
I think it is. From what I could tell, I think it is. A true ghost. A true ghost. If you find it, let us know. We'd love to see one.
I can't wait for that warehouse find.
All right. So this is Severed Souls number 10. I just threw this on here because Pablo Lobos is really starting to blow up. I don't know if anybody's followed, but he's done some work for Hive. Their Gun Honey covers, they're really phenomenal. He's done that work. He's done some work for a few exclusives. He's got some Marvel work coming out. He's got some DC work coming out. I think he's probably he feels like he's on the edge of really blowing up. Everybody seems to love his stuff. This book is super hard to find. They only printed 100 of them, around 100. I talked to the guy who owned the company, and he was nice enough to send me one. They were all signed. I was like, "Do you have any non-signed ones?" He's like, "No." Lobo signed them all. You can see the signature.
I know where Dimensions Comics is. I need to stop by there.
Doesn't Lobos live in Houston?
He lives in Richmond, Texas, which is like right outside of Houston.
He's a super sweet guy. We were talking, like, super cool guy, and everybody just seems to love his work. And one who's looks like he might be ready to pop. And artists' first work are things that a lot of people like to collect, and this is his first cover. He did some interior stuff for another super indie stuff, but his first cover was this book right here. So not one you're going to find digging, most likely, but one maybe to track down if you're into that kind of stuff.
It's a beautiful cover.
Yeah. And then I shared out his Instagram page just right before this, so make sure you're following him, Art of Lobos, if you're on IG.
I bought that Hive Comics gold foil cover, limited to 50. I got my hands on that. It's a beautiful cover.
He's got a bubblegum one. Yeah, the number 3's she's sitting there blowing a bubble, and I think the Hive guys are trolling me a little bit. God love them. Yeah, so I got to get my hands on one of those too. All right, this was a viewer submission. So this is from Devolved Comics. Thank you for watching the show, and told you I would include this one. So this is Vampirella and the Scarlet Legion #1. This is a Campbell, J. Scott Campbell 1 in 25. Came out in May 2011. The sale that he pointed out to me is the one I have quoted here for about $169 in September. Super ghostly book, right? 20 on the census, 10 and 9.8. Doesn't show his face very often because it's pretty damn cool. But we love talking about Campbell here, and we love talking about ghosts. And well, here we go, a Campbell ghost.
Yeah, I've never seen this book, and I would love to find this book one day.
Joe, you've got this one, brother?
No.
We like to spend money for Joe on the show, so that's what we always do every week. We're like,
yeah, the problem with this one, even if you want to buy
I collect a lot of Campbell, but like, if I saw this, I don't know if I would buy it. You know what I mean? Like, I've got a lot of Vampirella covers that J. Scott Campbell's done, and man,
would you buy it for the scarcity factor though?
Probably. That would be the only reason. But just for the cover, it's okay.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know that it was quite as hard to find as it is, and I may pass it up depending what the asking price was. But at this point, if I see it now, I'm grabbing it. 170 raw is a pretty good price.
Wow, what was the print run on this? Do you know, anybody?
I don't.
1,000?
Probably higher than that.
2011.
Yeah, it's probably higher than that, but
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at best we could find like copies ordered by Diamond retailers, but yeah.
All right, next book. Let's go.
All right, keeping with the vampy discussion. This is from Faye Dalton. She's a really underrated artist. We've talked about her on the show before. When I was looking up the other vampy book, I stumbled across this one. I think it's really phenomenal. I like the lighting, the moon. I think it's really cool. This is a 1 in 20. There is a Virgin cover C, not a Virgin, a trade dress cover C. If you go to the next one, Aaron, that's a lot easier to find. And in some ways, I think the traded dress, really adds to this book a little bit. But yeah, Faye Dalton has a great aesthetic that I think is underappreciated. Like, she really does some amazing stuff. And this one you can find digging. The other one, probably not. But this one, if you're out there digging in the vampies, you can probably come across this one.
That's nice. I like it.
Yeah, this is another one I've never seen, like out in the wild. I'm a big vampy fan, and I like collecting those books. But these last two, man, I've just never seen them.
Yeah, it does have that energy for sure. Lords of Brooklyn, 100%. I would agree. Just that sort of that vibe to it, 100%. But yeah, I like I said, Faye Dalton, she's done some really cool stuff, and an artist. There's a female artist is getting a lot of press deservedly currently, but she's just not in the conversation with any of them. And I think she's as good, frankly, as any of them. But maybe her body of work isn't as big as like a Tell or a Frizz or a Momoko or even Sosa Mike at this point. But like, she's talent-wise like right on the same level, in my opinion, as all of them.
So like with certain covers, like, do you feel like Virgin covers are good, and then other covers, like the trade dress, kind of ties it all in together? I mean, I think this would be an example of that.
Yeah, I find myself preferring the trade dress more and more. I just think the Virgin thing's been overdone too much a little bit. This one I can go either way on, but I think I do like the trade dress on this. I wish they'd just do the trade dress, like the Dynamite with the number, take that off, take the Vampy 50-year thing off, and just have the Vampirella trade dress in the art. I think that's like the perfect compromise on some of these, but I don't know. I do find myself particularly like a trade dress like that. That's that's unique and original. I think it does add to the book a little bit, but I know other people feel differently.
I mean,
Let's be honest. We want the trade dress so we can remember what the book is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like 90% of the reason why I like having the trade dress on there. Like, it's very few times where I'm like, oh, I gotta have the virgin, or I prefer a minimal trade or anything like that.
Of course.
But I mean, it might have been just like growing up with comics all the time, and just like, bam, there's a title in your face. Like, I know exactly what I'm getting into.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are, we chase the virgins because they're usually, more exclusive. There's fewer of them, whatever it might be, right? The hobbies become that. And I don't always love that, to be honest with you, because I think the trade dress brings a lot to these books a lot of the times.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to go down a Archie rabbit hole here. So if anybody wants to tune out at this point, by all means, please tune out because this is going to go for a little while here. So this is Veronica #1. Now, to be clear, the early issues of this Veronica series was always Veronica in some city, Veronica in Paris, Veronica in Morocco, Veronica, wherever, right? So then issue 19, I think it just switched over to Veronica. So the same run. So it's gone on for a long time. What's interesting about this book, and you can find this on Digging, this was Dan Parent's first cover. And Dan Parent is kind of blowing up right now. Like he seems to be talked about online a lot more than I've ever seen. He just did, I got to say, I just talked to him not long ago. He did this awesome Gwenpool homage for me, which I absolutely love. So a super cool guy who it's here if anybody cares, but it's homaging that Sabrina number 48 or 47 or whatever it was.
And there's a Jeff Blanchard. Yes.
Yeah, he threw Jeff on there. But that's his first work. Like we talk about artists' first work, they become sought after. And these Archie books don't have huge print runs. Just a book I wanted to put on there and talk about. I think, that there's reason to buy this. And like this is like a $2. I bought this for $1 the other day digging. So it's out there for nothing on nobody's radar, but something that maybe becomes a bit more appreciated because it's been a long time where I've seen an artist who's been around so long kind of all of a sudden catch fire and who's been well respected. And we're going to talk a lot about his books tonight. But that Planet #1 homage for Sabrina really seemed to kind of put him at the forefront for a little while here. So, Veronica #1.
I love it.
Okay. All right. So this is the last book in the Veronica in the run. So this is Veronica in the Bahamas. I would say this. If you're looking at Archies and you don't know what to buy, if they're in Veronica or Betty or in a swimsuit, it's probably a fair pickup. Like they seem to move. The asking price on this book, there's some people asking over $100 for this book. There's one graded in 9.8, which is actually available for sale online on eBay for not a crazy amount of money relative to what some of the raws are being asked for. But just another another parent cover that is pretty well sought after.
Oh, this reminds me of the Barbie covers where she's like under the sea or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that Barbie one, I believe, is an homage to one of the Archie ones, believe it or not, where she's like opening the treasure chest or whatever it is, or swimming with it. Like I think those are homaging these Archie covers, to be honest with you. There's one I should have pulled those maybe for another show, but they're extremely similar. But just another Veronica title. Just throwing this on there because it just ties into the last book a little bit. All right, let's keep going because there's a lot on here, and I don't want to bore anybody.
Yeah, real quick, Adam. This is Veronica #18. Veronica in the Bahamas.
Yeah, the title's just Veronica. All right, this book is full on ghost. This is Red Sonja and Vampirella meet Betty and Veronica, #10. This is a Dan Parent, beautiful Dan Parent cover. Can't be found anywhere. It's a 1-in-40 ratio, complete ghost, but pretty badass if you ask me. And Parent did ratios for this entire run, but this one in particular seems to be one of the hardest ones to get hands on. But there's a lot of cool ones in there, and a book I'd love to have, but just have never sniffed even. So there are black and white sketch versions of these two that don't go for nearly as much. Like this full color one seems to be the one to have.
That's nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
it's a great cover.
Kind of looks like Disney characters.
Yeah, it does. Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
With the red and green.
Yeah, Vampy looks pretty savage there, but I'm just throwing this on there because Robert Hack also did covers for this entire run that are all kind of retro like this and super badass. And like this is an open order book, so if you're digging, and whatever anybody's aesthetic is their aesthetic, but like Space Girl covers and like these distressed looking books, like people gravitate to this stuff, and I just thought this one was super cool.
I want to know how many covers have done that sticker where they put the price tag sticker on it.
It's a good aesthetic, man. I love it, man. I think it's a smart idea because it's so damn clever for the price.
They might grade it like that, like, oh, it's a sticker on the cover.
Oh yeah. Hey, green label.
Right.
Right. A couple more Space Girl covers, right? They're super collectible. If you're ever looking to buy, you can buy them cheap. There's always a market for them. This is Die Kitty Die Hollywood or Bust number 4. This was just a cover A, but this wasn't a super high printed series, so it's not exactly easy to get. I wouldn't say that it's hard, but it's not hyper plentiful. There's one graded in 98 on the census, and yeah, these are just kind of books that if you're out there digging and you see these are the smart ones to pick up and just put them away if you're finding them for cover or cheap. So just another really cool Parent cover. Now this wasn't a Kickstarter. I think this was just an open order. Actually, I don't know. Actually, I mean, when these sell, they're selling for $5 or $6. Like this is not, people aren't asking a ton for these right now. I don't know if that'll always be the case, but like, these are available to be had online for relatively cheap. And this was, there are lots of different covers, but this is just the standard cover A. Hollywood Aid in Space. What was that Chili Peppers line? Space may be the final frontier, but it was made in a Hollywood basement. Is that the line? All right. Katie Keene, number 27. Another Space Girl cover. Katie Keene is sort of in that Archie family. This is John Lucas. I came across this the other day just digging. Like, these books didn't have super high print runs. These were like in the romance line. You'll see this as a newsstand. I've never seen this book not newsstand. It's one of those, so don't get suckered into like paying any sort of premium for newsstand on this. I think they're all newsstand, but I don't know what the print runs were on these books, but I'm pretty sure they aren't huge. But people like space. The whole Space Girl thing is like a subset of comics that people collect, and here's another one. So
I dig this cover.
Yeah.
I don't know how like the helmet with the hair sticking out actually works.
When John Williams and George Lucas collab again, right? That's John Lucas.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
No, I'm just joking. I don't.
I think there's some innuendo in this title too. Katie gets zapped by visitors from outer space. I mean, it just seems like there's an intentional play on words there, but
don't miss it.
All right, we're gonna transition into some foreign Archies. Josh, take the floor, man.
Yeah, so this is from Brazil. Did you put the U.S. covers in here as well?
I did. Yep. So they should all be in there.
Can we go to the U.S. cover just to show that one? So this is the U.S. cover. So this is Archie 65 from 1953. And I just wanted to put this on here because I'm a huge Golden Age Archie fan. So if you go back to the other image, this is the version from Brazil. This is from 1954. These books are like mega ghosts. I have seen one copy of this book. I own this copy. That's the only copy I've ever seen pop up for sale. And I had been looking for a couple years. So as soon as I got the chance to buy it, I was like, yes, because I mean, I haven't seen one since. So
Okay.
I just love the colors on it and all that, and the good girl art.
Yeah, this one's beautiful, man. How could you not buy this thing if you saw it?
You familiar with the French Canadian ones, right, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you have the American version as well?
Of this one, I do not. I do not have the American. I need to get it. I like those are like the cover sets I like because I'm like, all right, there's 2 of them. Now I'm done.
Yeah.
Best way to go.
So this is another one from Brazil. This is Jughead 21 from 1953. So this was the Brazilian edition again from 1954. So if you want to scroll to the US one, I actually like the light blue on the Brazilian one way more than that darker blue. So, and then I think I translated that. It's like guloso, which equals sweet tooth in Portuguese. So just so you guys know. And Frajola, I have no idea if that's how you pronounce it. Forgive me if it's not, but that's what they called Archie over there. That was his name.
You have this one too, John?
I do. Fortunately, these 2 were my 2 books because they both popped up from the same seller. And I was like, I just have to grab both of these. Like, I seriously, I have a thing for Golden Age Archie, and to get a Golden Age book from like another country like that, it's just wild.
Yeah, man, that's a great book. Congrats. It's badass.
Thank you.
I heard if you ask Josh enough this weekend, he might throw one up on
Yeah.
Fun Week.
Someone will probably get it for a steal.
Right.
So can we go to the next, the US one? So this is the US version. So this was Ginger number 8. I actually didn't look up the year on this one. I should have. It's just another Golden Age Archie-esque book. So then if you go back to the Australian one, in Australia, this was Archie number 58, and they actually, if you flip back and forth between the covers, you can see they took Ginger out, put Veronica in, they took the kid on the chair, they put Archie in, and then the other kid they switched out to Jughead. So I thought that was
so this
a
is
really
like
neat thing.
This is like a straight swipe.
Yeah. As far as I know, that's not an Archie cover, but I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't believe it is.
Now, can you go back to the other one real quick? But Ginger is an Archie property, right? I mean,
Yes.
It says right. So
Yeah.
interesting. It's like predating Cheryl Blossom, or
Yeah, that was, I believe so. I'll have to look up the date on that before the show's over so I can let you guys know. So then this is the last one. This is another one from Brazil. I do not own this one. This is Katie Keene 14 from 1954. And the Brazilian edition came out the same year. So it's always wild to me when you get like a Golden Age book that came out in the US and then in like somewhere like Brazil, because I mean, this is 1954. So like they packaged this up in the mail, sent it all the way across the world and, published it in another country. So that stuff's wild to me. And I dig the blue on this one again. I like the lighter blues.
yeah,
From Liger on the previous book, I think it had the same insides.
On the previous one, I do
Ginger
not know. I do not own either of those books, so I have no idea if they're the same interiors.
Oh, but you're saying the last ones are the ones you enjoy more than the darker?
Yeah, I like the light blue better than, because they even they matched her shirt she's wearing. If you go to the Brazilian one, it's almost the same. Oh, they lightened it, but still they matched everything. Looks nice. It's more aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Extremely.
Yeah.
This is yours, Rob, right, man?
Yes,
I was.
This showed up in one of the many conversations that me and Josh are upon in the foreign community, and this one came up, and on the interior, it's only printed to 25. Now, the thing I love about the lug editions is that most of these were hand painted. They're not done in marker or a pencil or anything like that, and you don't see this cover anywhere else. And that is a gorgeous, gorgeous Galactus and Silver Surfer cover.
Yeah,
You almost would want this over the first appearance. It's that's how great it is. And on the back you have Galactus and the other heralds on the back too. So it's, man, I went searching the moment I saw it. I was like, man, that's a beautiful cover.
Is this yours? The picture you sent me, Rob? Is this your copy?
No, I wish.
Oh,
I wish. I'm on the hunt. It's on my radar.
25,
Yeah.
man. Holy shit.
I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah. Can you imagine
there's
if the US
nothing
did
worse,
this?
man.
Yeah, that is a beautiful book.
Yeah.
If you like chasing ghosts like a lot of us do on this show, legit ghosts, it is the burn to try to find some of these books. I mean, you want them so bad, but it's a long shot tracking some of these down sometimes. I mean, it's what makes the hobby fun, but it can also, man, it can eat you alive a little bit if it's a book you need to get hands on,
And I'm assuming this has to be more magazine size, right? This isn't.
Looks like it for sure.
Yeah, this isn't. So I mean that makes them even better. They did a couple of painted covers like this where they kind of reimagined stuff, because they did a beautiful Fantastic Four 52 for the first Black Panther one as well. So lug is.
They did 2 editions of the Black Panther one. One's black, and then it's this color black, and then the other one's an orange color. But like I said, a lot of these they might have a second print, but I know this one is a limited one because it's an annual. And like I said, limited to 25. It's going to be. This is probably, if I had to coin it, this would have to be the Galactus book to have for any collector. 25 printed. That's got to be the lowest ever, outside of a commission.
It's God bless anybody who's going to go hunt this thing. It's going to be hard. All right, this is cool.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I didn't know if this was going to make it or not. So this is just a new book. I just wanted to put it on here because I thought it was kind of neat. Mexico did another foil ASM 300 cover a few years back, but it has a thick black border around it. So I just liked this one because it's just like the US. So this was limited to 1,000 copies. It just came out in Mexico this year from a store. And I'm assuming they did this because of the McFarlane signing coming up. So I had to snag a few copies of this just because I enjoy the foil covers from Mexico. They're always really nice.
I mean, this one is a direct replica. I mean, the original price, it looks like everything. They didn't change anything on this thing. It is straight up a foil version of the original, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, Rob, real quick. No, you saw the question.
Yeah, that originated French, France, and a lot of it might end up on some other countries too. But like I said, sometimes you might get a Brazilian book from Australia. You never know. Depends on who's selling at the time and if you want it that bad. Like Ben finding that Gwenpool book, just your happenstance that you want.
I do have a French connection, so I need to ask her. I need to ask her about that if I said too much already. But yes.
If you go on Google and just type in like edition lug France, you can a bunch of covers will pop up that you can look at. They're all gorgeous.
And while we're on the Spider-Man thing, that Amazing Fantasy, Josh, the one you have, you know, on the back cover of that, they have that unused Steve Ditko art on the back of it. And that makes that book even more special. That's the only place it's been printed outside of the NFT on VV. I think that's the only other place where they made it like an ultra rare, 1 of 10 or something like that. But that is the only place that's printed.
What about the 1 in 500 for issue 700?
No, it actually shows.
No, it's a different art.
Oh,
okay. It's not that one. Because the 1 in 500 that was the back cover of like a Spider-Man anthology comic.
I thought it was like alt art for AF-15 that thing.
It was, but the first time that art I believe was published for anything.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
But that's the back of this cover that he's talking about.
Unused Ditko art.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking. I've seen
classic
that.
Ditko.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, and then that's the front. It's like a black chrome.
Beautiful.
Claim. Beat you, Joe.
All right, Champions number 5. I just got this the other day, and I love obscure Gwenpool books. I know nobody gives a shit, but I'm talking about it anyway. So I've never seen this anywhere before. Josh, Rob, if you guys have seen this, let me know. But paid $10 for it. A guy in IG hit me up and said, "Hey, you interested in this?" And yeah, Champions number 5 from Italy, with Gwenpool on the cover. How can I say no for $10?
I love it.
It's weird because the one I had 1 through 4. The number 1 had like the first Snow Guard in it, which I thought was weird. And I noticed like issue 19, but then you go to number 5 and you have this. So it was like I never saw this one until like after the fact, and I was like, it's crazy how the books are kind of out of order.
Yeah, well, ironically, this is Champions number 5. Like Champions number 5 was this issue, and the inside is Champions number 5.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, does it just have the one story, or does it have 2?
No, there's another story. There's a second story in there, but it's only 2. It's not like it's not like a trade paperback or anything. It's it's not that thick.
I love it. You have to be like there has to be no Gwenpool collector that rival now that you've like dipped your toes into the foreign world. Like,
yeah, well, that's why she doesn't have a damn book, because nobody gives a shit. But whatever. I mean.
Yeah, I think you and my brother were the only people I knew that actually read Gwenpool books. So, like,
it's
heavily
super
read.
Clever. It's actually really clever. Maybe it was way too meta for people or something, but it's a very clever run. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Gwenpool. Let's keep the show going. All right, Aaron, this is all you, brother.
All right, yeah. So this is Spider-Gwen number 1, the Comics Kings variant. So there was a Air edition. So I got this information from Recalled Comics, is where I first heard about it. I happened to pick one up like randomly at a con. I run into this dealer every time I go to a bigger con, and so he always has copies. So I keep on buying them. Like, I think it's funny. So, and then he'll always, like, if you have cash in hand, like he'll take down the price of what has the price tag at. But I wanted to point out the difference between the corrected version versus the error edition. So I think the rumor is there's about like 2,000 errors that got recalled, and then there might be like 1,000 floating around out there. You can tell you if you have the error one because the Spider-Gwen on the trade dress is now outlined in white. And then at the bottom, you can see that the logo isn't outlined in white also, and that the Marvel tag is off-centered. It's a beautiful ASM 50 homage, and then the logos are slightly smaller. But the funny thing is, the reason why I brought it to the table was I was looking at someone's IG, and they had a CGC graded one, and they had the corrected version, but it was labeled as the error version. But I didn't want to start a fight on IG about it. So, yeah. But I thought it was just kind of, it's kind of weird that like that I'm guessing it's pretty hard for CGC to keep up with which ones are errors and which ones aren't, especially like when that person like submits it to CGC.
I couldn't find a distinction on there between errors and non-errors, but maybe they were. But what I was looking at, they weren't tracking them.
Yeah. So I mean, they do, because I do have a error one graded. They do write it in the middle part of the label, like above.
Okay. When I checked the sentence, there's so many Spider-Gwen books. Maybe I looked at the wrong one. I didn't see the error version like on the census broken out, but they very well could be. That I could have got that wrong.
Oh, so apparently this is Paul Holloway's
Oh, nice.
LCS. So that's
very cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Oh yeah, there you go. I've seen several of these mislabeled by CGC and quite a few eBay seller that list these incorrectly. Yeah. So yeah, be careful. Just because someone says it's an error doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Try to find sources that cite which ones aren't. I mean, that's why I like to use Recalled Comics, just to double check like info on stuff when something pops up on eBay.
Yeah, if you guys aren't going to that site, it's a wealth of knowledge there. Really cool site. Recalled Comics. Check it out. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like my checklist to find books.
A really good site. Exceptionally well done.
And it's only one person that runs it too. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah, I've reached out to I forget his name, but just super busy. Doesn't really engage. Doesn't feel like in the community that much, but has one of the best resources out there.
Oh
really
yeah,
cool
definitely.
Site. And it's all free. I mean, it's just there for free. It's a great site.
And I love how he says rare 0 to 10.
Oh yeah.
Extremely rare 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Anything over that, it'd be like, oh, it's common. But wait,
Yeah.
it's 3,000 of these. It's rare. No, it's not.
Yeah. Oh, I forget. Is it the 1 star that's the super rare ones, or is it like the 4 or 5 stars or smiley faces?
Five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to look for the 3 and above. Is what it is.
Yeah. I would send books to him all the time because I like rare books, and he'd debate like there's a Black Widow Marvel Solo. Like this book does not exist. Like it never shows up. There's none on the census. He wouldn't list it because he couldn't verify how many there were. I'm like, all I can tell you is the best hunters in the game. I've said looking for this book and nobody can find the damn thing. But
are you talking about the Solo Avengers book?
Yeah. This one right here.
Oh, yeah. I've been since you've talked about that one. Like I've been looking for that one forever.
Dude, it shows up once a year, maybe. Like it is damn near impossible to get hands on.
Yeah, I think I'm now like year 2 into searching for that. I think the only person that we've known to find it was Samson.
Yeah, he found one that was beat to crap. Like, well, he knew where it was the first time. Like the only person, he's like, there's one at my LCS or something, but it's for $10, but it's beat to hell.
Yeah.
I said, Carter, man, go find this thing. And if Carter can't find it, it doesn't exist. So
wait, I mean, Samson might have also found the other one where it has what's his name, Agent
Nick
Coulson. Is it Nick
Fury?
Fury?
And
Yeah.
That one's really tough too. That's the 5th one, but all right. This is Carter's book. He's not here tonight. I don't know why he wanted it on here, other than it's really cool looking, but we'll save it for next week. So that Carter is watching the football game.
Yeah. So forget you saw this.
These
You
next
do not
few
remember
books,
these books.
these next few books are just like books you can find digging. Want to put some stuff on the show that's cool but accessible. So this is just a beautiful book, beautiful series. To be honest with you, this is Cinderella Fables Are Forever #1. A Chrissy Zullo, just a cover A, but a classic comic book cover. I think it's really stunning and doesn't really get talked about very much, but I think it's badass.
I love Chrissy Zullo. I get suckered into buying all of her exclusives that come out just because, I don't know, there's just something about her art that I just love. So I've actually never seen this book, so now I'm going to have to go buy one.
Sorry about that, Josh. I believe she did all of the covers in the. I mean, I actually got them right here. She did all the covers in this. They're just some.
Oh, wow.
I mean, if you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you can find these books for cover less when you're digging, but just beautiful artwork. And the hobby isn't always, I think what we're trying to show in the show is the hobby is not just about a few first appearances or a few number one issues. I mean, it's so much bigger and more interesting than that. And if you can find stuff that makes you happy, that you like, I mean, go do it. That's part of what we're doing on the show, is just trying to open the conversation to other kinds of books, not just the same 150 key first appearances. That gets a little tiresome for me anyway. So just trying to make this hobby bigger and more interesting. So just an absolute gorgeous book that maybe not everybody knows about. I think we just got one more tonight on the list. So I love this book. This was one of my favorite Adam Hughes books. This is Ferris number 7. This one doesn't get talked about very much. It's not a low print run, but it's by no means a high print run. I will say what's interesting about this book, if you know anything about the Ferris books, the trade dress was all over the place. They used to run it down the side, at the bottom, wherever, wrap around the corner. This book was solicited with no trade dress. So it's obscuring something in this picture. It's on Previews World. So if you go to Previews and look it up, it's there. You can see. I didn't want to put it on the show, but and it's not like clear as day. Like the light is getting darker at that point in the picture. But anyways, that was how it was solicited when people ordered it. And if you remember, like, this was more or less the pose that got Monero in trouble.
I was gonna ask, what was that a homage to or throwback to?
This was
Monero?
first though.
Yeah.
Oh, this one was first. Okay.
Yeah. But Hughes did all of the covers on this Ferris run, and there's some really good ones. But I don't know what it is. I've always really liked this one, and it's not considered one of his better works, I don't think, by most people, but highly underrated in my opinion. And you can find it out there digging for cover if you want.
I grabbed the Frozen one. I think I got it $3 where she's like blowing and she wrote Ferris on the cover. I love that one.
That's brilliant. Another great one. Yeah, fantastic. All right, that's all we got tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. We had a lot of fun talking about these books. So in 2 weeks, we're gonna should be the first show in October. We're gonna do the Halloween show. So stay tuned for that one. I've got to be in Germany next week, so I'm 50-50 if I'll be back on Thursday to do one. I'll try to pull the stuff together, but just to get a heads up advanced, I may not be around to do a show next Thursday, when my flight gets back. But I am going to go look. I am going to go looking for some foreign books. So fingers crossed that I find something. I'm going to be in Munich and Frankfurt. So
that's sweet. I'm excited for you. I get to live through all these people that travel, and they're like, "Oh, look at all this stuff I found."
I don't have much downtime, so lower your expectations, man. Lower them low.
All right, since Matt DeVoe's in the house, make sure to use the code Nirvana14 for the 30-day unlimited membership for only 99 cents. That's for new members that haven't signed up before, and it's a great tool anyways that you should be using anyways. And then make sure you hop over to birdcitycomics.com to use the code Nirvana for a 10% discount.
Yeah, if you guys don't know Matt DeVoe, he is a major contributor to our community. The website he runs is phenomenal, and he's a phenomenal guy. So Matt, thank you for tuning in. Flattered that you watch our show, just a real solid member of this community. So thanks, Matt.
All right. And then before we go, Ben, do you have anything you want to promote? Anything coming up?
I got nothing, man. I'm boring. Check out Instagram, I guess. I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah. So make sure you're following Ben on Instagram, because like he always posts books that like, oh, you missed out on a book at this price, and it's like, no.
That's usually me swearing about it.
Let's see, but Rob, Josh, and I, we will be selling international books this weekend on Saturday along with McClay. So make sure you're subscribed to Beyond Wednesdays, because we will be sitting on a panel as well discussing each other's books that we're putting up on the table. So, and then I am going to be flipping in between foreign cards and comics again. So all Japanese editions. My Brazil books didn't come in time. So there's always next month though for that. And Joe, do you have anything you want to promote? Okay.
No, I do want to say one thing. Like I always tell people, just tune in to the foreign shows. Like we trust me, I do not expect you to buy anything. It's just if you have any interest in that stuff at all, it's an amazing learning opportunity. Those shows are just as much about gaining knowledge about that stuff as it is people buying it. So even if you just want to tune in for a couple hours and watch us all sit around and talk about crazy foreign books and stuff like that, and you might see something that might blow your mind, and it's a good time. So
yeah, man, it's super educational. I will second that big time. I forgot to put that on. That was on last week, Rob, and I forgot to put it on this week, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, here, I'll put you on the big screen, Rob. If you want to show it again.
It's beautiful Linda Carter Japanese visual guide. For those
photo covers, man. Out there. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them.
Ooh, is that the first photo cover? No, I mean, the one I can always think of is the old school Spider-Man one. But Linda Carter came before that, huh?
Ooh. Oh, nice. It's got like a nice fold out.
That's really cool.
That's fire, man.
That's actually really cool.
And on the back of it, it has all the little... Got the animated cells in there too. You thought I was gonna pull out like some Japanese Playboy, huh?
That's only on Awesome Sauce Radio, so I happen to be nice.
You know what? Those are books that we need to put on here. We'll talk about that later.
We'll just throw them out. Next week is going to be sort of freestyle, and then, like I said, the week after, first week in October, we're going to go through some badass Halloween books for everyone.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I got a couple ideas for that. All right. And then I have a Save the Comic show coming up next Tuesday that you do not want to miss, because if the book does not sell, I will shred it live on stream on Whatnot. So if you don't believe me, check out my Instagram post, because I destroy a book on there, because that's a ton of fun. All right. Y'all have a good night, and I'll catch y'all later.
Peace.
Save the books. Don't let them die.